So let's say, for example, you're trying to solve the function y equals cos of x. So you might do solve and then you'd write in cos of x equals 0. So you're trying to find the x-intercept with respect to x. And what you'll find is that your answer will look something like this. Now we call that the general solution, but right now that's not what we're looking for. So what we're trying to do here is actually find exactly the values of x that will give us an answer of 0. So basically we're trying to find our x-intercepts for the function y equals cos of x. So another thing we can do is we can go the inverse of cos and then make that 0. But what we find is that we only end up with one solution. Now through your work with the unit circle, you'll be able to find as many solutions as required. But the one thing you need to realize is that you need to make sure that you actually know your domain. So that is, you know exactly what parameters you're using in order to solve that function. So we know, for example, that between 0 and 2 pi, this is in radians, cos of x will equal 0 at exactly 2 points. But how do we get those two values or those two angles? So let's go back to solve. So what I'd do here is type in what we have at the very start or at the very first command up there. So cos of x equals 0, comma x. So you do that as normal, but what you're going to do now is actually go control and then press that equal sign and it'll pull up these 6 options. So the first thing you want to do is press that straight line or that bar, and then you want to set your domain. Now let's say that I told you to solve for this particular function between 0 and 2 pi. So you would then do 0, go back to that equal sign for those options, and I'd do this. So basically what I'm saying is I need all solutions for x between 0 and 2 pi that'll equal 0. So now when I hit enter, I'm actually going to get those two solutions that I'm after. So the first one is when x is equal to pi on 2, and the next one will be when x is equal to 3 pi on 2. So we can try this again with, let's say I'm going to I'm going to change my domain. I'll make this 4 pi and I'll make this negative 2 pi. Again, by doing that and making sure that you include that bar, you're going to get all the solutions for x that make that function equal to 0. Now you can try this with sine and tan as well, and you'll get the exact same answer every time. You'll get the answer that you're after every single time. What you need to make sure of though is that that bar is on the outside of the bracket. So you'll have your command solve, you'll type in your function, you'll make it equal to whatever it is you need to, and you're telling it comma x, which means to solve with respect to x. You need to close that bracket and then do your domain on the outside. If you include your domain on the inside, it's not going to work or give you the answers that you're after.